Hello, welcome to Bentley's Backwards Bushcraft, and this is Richard. So I was outside training earlier, and I got some pretty decent training in, but it started raining, so so that I didn't get the camera wet, I decided it would be time to come back in the house. And because I came back into the house, I decided that I would start on some more projects that I want to work on. Most of this stuff came from the Dollar Tree. So real quick, I'll run through some stuff that did not come from the Dollar Tree. And this black cloth here, or yeah, it's kind of a plasticky leather cloth. It's the same kind of stuff I made that bag out of. Anyway, I've got an octagon here. Got two pieces. This did not come from the Dollar Tree, but this was a secondary thought after. I'm also using this leather hole punch, and obviously that did not come from the Dollar Tree. Now, although you can find duct tape at the Dollar Tree, I purchased a larger pack of duct tape because I was going to need a lot more than just one or two of the Dollar Tree ones, but you can still get duct tape at the Dollar Tree. As well, I'm going to be sewing things. Now, this is a Dollar Tree sewing kit, and I could use this, but I do not want to use this because what I'm going to be doing is going to require a lot of damage later, and it's going to have to uphold to me punching and hitting it. So I will not be using this Dollar Tree sewing kit, but it could be used if necessary. I will be using some of my needles that I have in this needle case here, and I'm going to be using some sinew to tie up the smaller bags, and I am going to be using some trout line to tie up the larger bag here. So there's that. Now the stuff from the Dollar Tree. So we do have some poster boards here at the house, and I was needing to get a layout for this here. So I pulled out a mouse pad that I got from some MMA stuff that I got years ago. I'm trying to remember. Can't remember what MMA company it came from. They no longer exist. I don't think it was Strike Force, but I can't remember. Anyway, I went ahead and cut out an octagon from the poster board that I got from the Dollar Tree. Now, I used this as the basis to make this. I just had to enlarge it a little bit. And all I did was I took a stick, a walking stick, and laid it on the edge here, double, and then made my lines. So I just enlarged it. So that's how I enlarged this to this. Now, so we were at the Dollar Tree a few days ago. Found a pair of socks. These are not going to be used as to wear. I'm going to use these as a training aid, and I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. As well, I found this really nice shirt. I mean, this is actually a really nice shirt. It's buttoned. It's got buttons up here. The cloth is thick. You can, I know you probably can't see it, but you definitely can't feel it. But it's nice and thick. So I saw this. I was going to use a cloth that I got from the Dollar Tree to wipe down a car. I was going to use that. But when I saw this, I wanted to switch to this. So all I did, first of all, turn it inside out. There we go. And I traced this pattern 4 times on this shirt. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but the pattern is there. So this is going to give me 4 of those small bags once I get them cut out, because it will be doubled. Yeah, I think you can see them. There we go. So I will be cutting those out, and that will be giving me the cloth bags that I need to make my project. So next, filler. I'm going to show you some of the filler that I got. Now, I did purchase these rocks from the Dollar Tree. I could have went out and got rocks, but these are nice and rounded. There's not a whole lot of them that are really sharp, and I really don't want sharp rocks, but I do want them this size, and I need them round and little river rocks. So I purchased 3 of those for this project. I've had the sand for a very long time, and many projects, but I've got 4 of these packets of sand that came from the Dollar Tree, and I'll be using this sand. Now, I was at my son Jaden's house, and although these did not come from the Dollar Tree, this is another thing that I'm going to use as filler, and it's little plastic BBs, little pellets, little plastic BBs. I was going to actually use BBs, but I don't have enough to make a bag full, and I didn't want to spend any extra money on this. This stuff has already been purchased, and I didn't want to spend any extra money on it. So when I saw those, Jaden was nice enough to let me use those. BBs are good to use if you have enough of them. River rocks, sand, all that sort of stuff is fantastic. So we are going to get started on this project, and the first thing I'm going to do is we'll do the socks, but I'm going to cut the pattern out on this, and once we get those together or get them out, we'll sew them together. So what I'm going to do is, and I'll use this big one here as an example, we'll just piece them back to back so that the outside will be inside on both sides, and all we're going to do is sew all of the edges together until I get it completely done, and there's only one edge that's open where I can put my filler into it. Now, with this big one, I'm actually going to use this leather punch and make holes, and once I get the holes around there, I will use this trout line, and I will weave it and tie it, and then when I turn it inside out, it'll be a nice little case here. So I'm also going to, once I get these cut out, I will sew these together in the same manner until I have them sewed up and there's only one opening, and then I can use my filler with that. It's going to take a while to sew, but we're not even at that stage yet, but I will show you a little bit of that. So when I get everything prepared and ready to go, I will get right back with you. Alrighty, so I have the 4 cut. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are going to sit aside, and all I'll do is just sew those together. And but with this one here, I'm going to use this hole punch, this leather hole punch, and I'm just going to put holes. Now, I'm not going to measure these and make sure that they're exactly X amount of distance apart and this, that, and the other. It's not really that important that it's going to be, it has to be that perfect. I just have to make sure that I put enough of holes in this that when I fold it, it doesn't leave any space. I think I'm going to use the rocks in this one for sure. So the holes just have to be small enough to where these little rocks doesn't pop out. And I'm not sure exactly how many holes it's going to take per side. And I'm also going to make sure that I go in far enough that when I poke the holes, that when I reverse it, that there's going to be some space in between, so that way that there'll be a little bit of protection there as well. So we are going to put the holes in this. I'm going to kind of estimate how many it's going to take here. See what we got here. Alrighty, so I've got 13 holes across there, and I think I'll just go ahead and do 13 on each side, and when I get that done, I'll get back with you. Alrighty, so I have some black sinew that I'm going to use. Get me a needle out. A nice little needle bag here. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go with that one. And all I'm going to do if I can get these old eyes. You know, it's no longer about being able to see. There we go. It's not being able to see where that's at. I can't see it. I just have to kind of figure it out without being able to see it. So there we go. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew these on. Let's get this a nice little start here. There we go. And just gonna sew, just go in through these loops. I'm gonna go in 1, 2, 3 and tighten it up. We're going to do that through the whole thing here. And it's already fell out. Hey, look at that. Not doing too bad for can't seeing it. There we go. Alright. One, two, three. Pull that through. And just tighten it up. Put it through the hole. 1, 2, 3. And tighten it up. One more. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Tighten that up. So I'm just going to continue to do that until I get it completely. I'll just go until I have one more, just have one open, and then I'll get back with you. Alright, so this cordage is nice and thick. So what I'm doing is I'm tearing it in half like so, so that I get twice as much out of it. There we go. And it is waxed. It's waxed artificial sinew. So what I'm going to do is I'll continue to sew. There we go. I just wanted to show you real quick that I was taking this sinew and tearing it in half so that I get to use it twice as much. So initially I make my same knot I use for fishing, the same knot I use for pretty much anything. And I'm not good with names, so I couldn't really tell you the name of that knot. And I've shown it before, so. Anyway, I continue on, go through, get your little lead loop here, 1, 2, 3 around, pull it through, and tighten it up. There we go. And I'm just going to continue that. And let's see here. 1, 2. I'm working on my third side right now. So I'll get back with you when I get it all done up, except for the small areas that I can pour the material into. So there we are. I've got it done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a full string. I'm not going to separate it. And I'm going to weave it in and out here all the way around it, just to kind of make it a little more secure and make me feel better. So there we go. Now, it's going to start here at the beginning. I'm going to use my full string. I didn't tear it in half. And I'm just going to do my knot. Now, the simple knot is it's running through the hole here. I'm going to take the tag in here and I'm going to bring it up on this end here. I'm going to hold both pieces with my finger. And I'm going to take this tag end and I'm going to wrap it around my finger and make a loop. And all I'm going to do is bring it over top and then underneath and through. And then I like to wrap it 3 or 4 times and tighten it up. Now this makes a nice little slip knot in there, and now it's secure. So now the other stitch I was doing, and I don't know the names of these stitches, so whatever the names are, I was going in, wrapping it around and weaving it. This time I'm going to stay and I'm just going to go down all the way through. There we go. Now I'll go up and back down. And I'm just going to do that all the way through this whole thing. But I'm not going to tie any knots in it. It's just going to get, there we go, just pull it tight. Oh, pretty close to having this section of it done. Alright, right there. Now this is the last one. There we go. So I'm just going to loop it through here. There we go. And now I can tie it off. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Nice little knot right there. And there we go. So now I have this one side that's opened, and the rest of it is sewn to my satisfaction. So now all I'm going to do is fold it inside out. There it is. And there we go. Push that out. And there we go. Now we have a very nice and sealed edge on it. And at this point, all I got to do is just go ahead and put my material in here. And I am going to, I think I'm going to throw these rocks in there. Let's open this up. And sticking to the Dollar Tree motif of this design, I have some binder clips from the Dollar Tree. There's 4 of them. Probably 2 will be fine. We'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll fold those in a little bit on either side there, just like so. There we go. And then I'll just clip them. One. I'm going to use 3 just to be on the safe side. 2. And 3. And there we go. So once I get this bag to the little over half, right now we're down here, and I want to do at least right up to here, so I'll probably another 3 or 4 more bags. But what this bag is simply going to be is I'm going to be able to sit it out on a flat surface, and I'm just going to just strike it, and it will help condition my hands. So that's what this bag is going to be for. As well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and toss these because I don't want to deal with them. In the trash they go. As well, that's what these cloth ones are going to be. The exact same thing. They're just going to be a little bit smaller. And I will be filling them up with these plastic BBs and with sand. So, I don't think there's a need for me to continue by showing you the cloth. It works exactly the same way, but instead of punching the holes, I'm just simply going to sew it. And I'll be sewing it the exact same way I sewed the other one. And that'll give me 4 more bags. And once we get those done, if I have anything left, I will, and I don't think sand is going to work too well in these socks because it'll fall out, it'll come out. So I'll probably get rocks or maybe some pellets or BBs or something. But basically the same thing. I'm just going to fill up the sock, tie a knot in the sock, and then I can use it to condition my hands and arms and legs and stomach and whatever else. Fantastic training equipment. Pretty much near free, very inexpensive. So for people who can't go out and just purchase gear whenever they want, in which I'm one of those people, making your gear is not only smart to do economically, but it also gives you a connection to your training that you wouldn't normally get if you just go out and purchase your gear. It does show a sense of dedication and desire that you don't necessarily get when you purchase your materials. So I suggest, if you have a chance to make your gear versus purchasing it, just go ahead and give it a shot about making it. I will be doing some more videos on making other martial art gear. I used to make gear all the time. I don't have most of it around anymore because I got rid of most of it. But that gives me the opportunity to make it again. So I think that gear that you make, you have a special connection to, and honestly, from my experience, it works just as well. There's absolutely no real difference. The only difference could be in the materials that you use, and you may have to remake something here or there that you wouldn't normally have to do if you purchased it. Other than the aesthetics of it, there's really no difference in the usage. Thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.